My name's Dave Crute. I'm the senior cameraman doing some air shows this year in the UK. We're deciding to shoot all Sony cameras at the XD range. Now we've got everything from an EX1, an EX3. The cameras that are going to do the specialised lenses are the PDW 700. Shooting an air show has some major challenges. Not least of which is we're covering a large area in a short space of time. So things like the EX1 and the EX3, they're ideal for one cameraman to go off on his own, unsupported, no assistant, to get engine starts up, and you can get in amongst the pilots as they're climbing in the cockpits and all that sort of stuff. It's just a great, fast, really good pictures camera, and I love this smaller range of cameras, the EX1 and EX3. They are fantastic for this type of work. We've got three PD700s, one of which is basically ENG, interview and Steadicam camera. So we've got standard and wide lenses for this particular camera. The term sort of workhorse really relates to this because these cameras are really doing the backbone of the shoot. The second PDW 700, we've got a Schwemm lens on it, and actually the Schwemm lens actually holds up incredibly well on an HD camera. I was a little bit concerned. It's relatively old technology, but there's nothing else on the market that beats that. It just gets the shot. 60 to 300mm, stabilised, very stabilised, and in fact Alistair Chapman has been shooting out the back of a Range Rover, one of the Follow Me trucks, and he's been up the nose of all sorts of aircraft, and he's been having a lot of fun, I think, as well. Fantastic package for stabilised shots. The only other way to do this sort of stuff would be on a Cineflex or a Westcam or something of that nature. It really looks good. For covering the aircraft themselves, again, another PDW 700, but this time we've got a Fujinon 42, HD 42. We're dealing with everything from props to fast jets, very fast, so I couldn't really use a box lens because operating with a screen and doing very fast 180 pans, really quite tricky. So we've opted for the ENG longer lenses because you can get your body in there and whip it around really quickly. And this combination of cameras is working incredibly well, and I wouldn't want to tackle an event like this without this range of cameras. Fabulous, and it's really there. So full range, full support, and I love the shots they're getting. They're just fantastic. When I began purchasing equipment, XD-Cam was the way to go for me, so I bought a PDW 700. With all the equipment list, the lenses, the matte boxes, the tripods, all of that sort of stuff, I had a complete list of what I needed. The one thing that I actually wanted was a colour viewfinder. It wasn't until I actually got the colour viewfinder I realised it was one of my biggest needs on my list, but I just didn't realise it. I'm amazed by its clarity. You can focus. In fact, you can focus better with a colour viewfinder than you can the black and white. Really surprises me to say that, but you can. But it's not just the focus. It's the exposure. It's everything about the image. It's like having a 9-inch monitor on your camera. One big difference when you're shooting with a colour viewfinder, and for those people that work on film or have worked on film, they'll know what this means. When you shoot something, you have a real nice feeling because you've seen the picture. If you're looking for an optical viewfinder, you know the image you've recorded. You don't need to look at a monitor because you kind of seen it. And with this, I don't need to look at the playback because I've seen it in all its glory. I also Steadicam as well, and one really nice feature is the fact that I'm able to take the magnifier off, and this has this little flip out screen, which is great if you're on a Steadicam or if you're holding back. It's a useful function. You see it's actually quite a large image area as well, so when you do put the magnifier on there, actually you are seeing a very large picture, and it really is a need, not a want.